Hi wonderful peeps, thank you so much for clicking on this video. So as the title says, I'll be talking about paying your bills. So first things first is grab your tea, because I am going to be dishing the tea. I've got my do not worry be happy mug here with me to keep me some company. So yeah, let's get started. So I'll be going through 5 tips, 5 things that you might not know about getting through with paying your bills. So do share this video as well with somebody that you think might find it useful. If you're not a part of the fam, then be sure to subscribe. Click that notification bell so that every time I upload, you know, and you can be the first one to watch and comment too. Don't forget to like and let me know what you would like to see next from me. So first of all, I know that the topic of bills and paying bills and money in general is kind of a taboo in some cultures or religions or households. So, you know, we need to break that down really and truly. We need to come from the perspective of, you know what, I really love my culture, I love my home, I love my family, and so I actually want to help. And this is not to shame anybody or anything like that, but it's just to actually help. And there is a lot of charities, a lot of support out there, not even charities but companies that are willing to help you if you just open up about your struggles and stuff like that. So the first thing I'm going to say is talk to someone. I know that seems so obvious, so bait, so like, okay, yeah, and like I do that, but I think not a lot of people do that. Like, you never know, you speaking and opening up to your colleague or your friend or your neighbor, they might have done something themselves to overcome that bill you're trying to pay. And if you don't talk about it, you will never know. Do you get? So for example, I'm going to share a few things in this video that you might find useful, things that I've done to overcome certain bills, or tips and tricks that I've, you know, uncovered. But it's only because I spoke to someone, and now I'm speaking to you about it. And first of all, I'm actually going to say well done for even clicking on this video, because it means that you actually want to get help with this issue. So first of all, well done to you for actually trying to go with that first step. The next step is now to talk to someone. And also open that letter. I know that you're gonna see that red letter saying final notice, and it's gonna scare you and be like, oh, you know, maybe if I don't open it, it will go away, and maybe the problem will go away, maybe I won't have to pay the bill. But I tell you now, it'll only get worse, because like, I know that COVID has made some things difficult for people, but a lot of companies are doing this thing now where if you speak to them about it, they will find a way around it for you. So if it means freezing your bill, if it means, you know, referring you to someone who can help you manage your debt, or if it means, you know, putting you on a different price plan, you know, that kind of thing. Unless you talk to someone, you're not going to know what is available and what support you can get. The second thing I'm going to say is to ask for more time and support. So the first thing is you've spoken to someone, you've gotten that burden off your chest, that's done. But the next thing is go to that bill or that lender or that provider or whoever it is, ask for more time and ask for support. Now sometimes if you say, don't worry, I got it covered, even though you're in debt, they're gonna think, okay, cool, she's got it covered, I don't need to, you know, I don't need to offer help. But if you say, actually, I do need more time, I do need some help or some support, they can refer you. We have things like the Citizens Advice Bureau in the UK that you can go for advice, and sometimes they can refer you to like places that you can get grants or support, or you know, other financial aids and things like that. There is also this charity, I believe I heard, let me just find it really quickly. It's called Step Change. So what they are is a lending debt charity. So basically how I think it works, obviously do your research, I'm not a financial provider, let me just say that first, but how I believe it works is, let's say for example I have a 2,000 debt with the gas company. Yeah, let's say for example my debt is £2,000 with the gas company. I will now speak to Step Change, and Step Change will give the gas company the £2,000 that I owe. Because I don't know if you know this, but when you owe things, obviously it goes up in interest. Not just that, but also it affects your score and credit, and also it can basically like just make you an unreliable person. Then you got this big bill you gotta pay for, and it just keeps going up and up and up. So if you call them and say, you know what, can I freeze it, or speak to a provider like Step Change who can pay on your behalf, one, the price stops increasing, and two, you don't have to worry about this red letter coming through your letterbox asking for you to pay money that you don't have right now. So Step Change will now give the £2,000, and then how it works is that Step Change will now like work with you, and not the gas company, but with you, to provide or find a way to now give back that £2,000 that you owe. So for example, if it's £20 a month, £50 a month, that kind of thing, they will work with you and they will take time with you, unlike the gas company that's just rushing you for you to give them the money, that kind of thing. But like I said, Citizens Advice Bureau is a really good place. that you can get more information about stuff like this. There's also other debt lenders in the UK, but try and make sure you go for ones that do not have crazy prices like interest or anything like that. Also try and go for the ones that, you know, have good reviews and people are saying good things about. So make sure you do your research at first. And I know that is daunting and it seems like it's scary, and you know, you're thinking, what if I get scammed? What if this is crazy? What if I can't pay them back? You know, things like that. Obviously there's things that you can do, like file for bankruptcy, but obviously that's like the worst case scenario, and we're not going to get into that now. But I'm just saying that there is always kind of a way out, and sometimes it helps to talk to someone because they can help you see things in a way that makes more sense. So for example, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to cut back on shopping, there are, for example, food banks that you can go to, or food pantries that you can go to get shopping for a cheaper price, and that way you can set that money aside for that bill. Or for example, if you're thinking, oh, I just can't afford this direct debits, just go and pay as you go, you know. So things like that, like there's always a way around it, and unless you talk to someone, you're not going to know how to get through it. So talk to someone, ask for more time, ask for support, and don't be afraid to ask for help. So the third tip is to call them up. Now I know that we all hate calling because there's this whole thing of like, what do you call it, like long waiting period on the phone, being put on hold, hearing that elevator music that we all hate so much. But it's so important to speak to someone, because at least, even if you can't pay, they will put it on their system that this person has called. This person has called on this day. This person has tried to ask for help. This person has asked for more time on this day. And they can put that on the system, on your system. You know, whether it's a gas company or the water bill or whatever. I literally had recently a phone call with Thames Water, and they put me on hold for so long. And even at the end of all that, I didn't really get the proper help. But you know, the person tried, she tried her best, so I can't even fault her. But I know we all hate it, but we have to do it. And I told her, I was like, make sure you put it in your notes that I actually called to ask for help, but you guys just couldn't rectify the solution and you couldn't rectify the help. So she was like, yeah, she's gonna put in her report. I got a reference number, so that if they ever try to bring it up that, you know what, I didn't call them, I didn't do anything, I've got the reference number to back me up that I did call and I did ask for help. So don't be afraid to call. And if you're then, you're thinking, you know what, I've called, I've been on hold for hours, no one is there to support me, and you know, I just don't know what to do, I'm too busy, I can't wait on the phone forever, I don't have a contract that allows me to be on the phone for a long period of time because it's going to take up my credit, that kind of thing, that I got you. Another thing you can do is, which people don't really know about, is you can call them on social media, or contact them on social media rather. So for example, when it comes to a lot of companies, they've got Twitter accounts, they've got Instagram accounts. I would say Twitter is best because I feel like they've got dedicated team members that are on Twitter to offer support. So for example, with the gym, I had an issue with bill payments there as well. When it comes to taking a flight, I've had issues and I've, you know, contacted them on that as well. Also water bill, gas bill, literally all companies, I contact them on Twitter now. Sometimes I'm on the phone with them and I try that first. If that doesn't work, I go straight to Twitter. I either tweet them, like, you know, complaining, and then they reply back saying, how can we help? Or I just go straight to the DMs and just ask for support in a certain thing, and then yeah, they literally help me with it. So tweet or create a Twitter account just for that if you don't have one, because honestly sometimes it's literally so much faster and you get replies and help so much quicker doing it that way. Fourth, now this is another reason why I say you should always open your letters, even when you're afraid to open them, even when you don't know what they're gonna say and this and that and this and that, because sometimes a bill will come and the bill is incorrect and you might not know unless you open the letter. So for example, I know how savvy I am with I've made a whole video about this. If you haven't watched it, make sure you do. I know how savvy I am when it comes to my water bill, when it comes to my gas and electricity. I know how much I use. Literally before I go to bed, I unplug everything to make sure that that bill isn't increasing while I'm sleeping, because why is everything on while I'm sleeping? It makes no sense. So when the bill comes and it's higher than it should be, I let them know, sorry, I don't know that much. Mistake on your side, something isn't working, maybe you'll need to come back and check the meter and see how much I've used up. And also another thing that's actually helpful with that is to have a smart meter. That's one thing I've tried to get recently as well, because a smart meter literally tells you how much you've used up in the recent times. It tells you, like, for example, if you're owing, like how much you're owing, how much you're using up, and what is consuming the most amount of energy in your home. So for example, if it's the cooker, if it's the microwave, whatever, this is why people say prep your meals. Like, don't just cook every single day, because that's literally eating up your gas every single day. Prep your meals in advance, so at least that way you're warming up your food in the microwave, which is using up less electricity, that kind of thing. Also, if you're gonna make a tea, you know, like what I have over here, a cuppa, don't fill up your kettle all the way up, because that takes more energy and it takes a longer time. Like, the kettle's being used up for a longer time. So for example, if you have half or less than half water, it will take maybe, let's say, 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds. However, if you fill the kettle all the way up, that might take close to 2 minutes. So that's obviously more energy, more time being consumed, that kind of a thing. So yeah, make sure you open your letters and check what you use. And you know your meters, with gas meters, is a bit different, but obviously there's a figure and you can kind of see like how much you're using, blah blah blah. And obviously if there's an error, if there's a mistake, like for example what I have with my water bill, one of the machines is broken and is reading the wrong data, so it's basically charging me more because it's broken. So I've told them, hello, send somebody to the house to fix it because it's broken. And that's why I was on the phone for that long the other day. So yeah, make sure you're always on top of how much you're using, how much you're spending, and if it helps for you to manage that a bit more better, you might want to get a smart water meter, a smart gas meter, a smart electric meter, that kind of things. Those are really helpful. The fifth tip is, I don't know what company says this, but every little helps. So literally, if you're thinking, oh wait, I ain't got enough money, so I really can't be paying back what I don't have. Honestly guys, even if it's £5 a month that you can pay towards that debt or that bill, is something. I tell you now, it's something, because what, 5 times 12 is 60, so that's £60. Like, it's something, you know. So don't feel like what you have isn't enough. This is why it's important to also have, for example, a budget, a tracker of how much your incomings and outgoings are, so that you can rearrange yourself. Sometimes we have direct debits, we have other things that are luxurious to us that we can actually do without for a little bit. So if it means 6 months of no Netflix, but you're watching Amazon Prime for free, or you're watching YouTube videos or whatever, that's something, you know, it's something. Or using your friend's account because you can't afford to pay for your own, you can use that money and set it aside for paying a bill. So that's what I mean by every little helps. So, you know, it comes down first of all with you knowing how much your incomings and outgoing is, being on top of that, and then knowing how much you can sacrifice and what you can do to pay that debt or that bill. I know it's hard, and I know that it's really tricky in some situations to talk about money, but honestly guys, it's so important that you do, because if not, you get, I don't know about you, but don't you ever feel like when you're not on top of things, you just feel like like it's just too much. And getting it out is like the first step, right? And then after that, hopefully things become better, hopefully. And if things are hard, comment below and I'll try to find a way out for you, because honestly I really want us to come to that other side to realize, you know, realize what we can do, right? Because I think it's important to have control of things. I think when we feel overwhelmed, when we panic, is because we don't have control over things. And so it's important to try our best to have control and know what we have control over. So if it means, like I said, cancelling something so you can put money aside towards your bill, that's you feeling more in control of managing your bill. If it means knowing how much you have incoming and outgoing, that's you taking control and knowing what you have coming in and going out, rather than waiting for this letter that you did not expect, or waiting for someone to cut off your gas supply or whatever, which then puts you out of control and it makes you feel bad, makes you feel anxious, makes you feel tired, and it makes you just feel, you know, all that stuff. So try and be on top of things so that you feel more in control of yourself and your life and your bills and other stuff as well. So yeah, that's it from me guys. I really hope this video helped, and let me know what else you'd like to see from me. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.